Oh, the places some will go. Dr. Seuss is the latest victim of cancel culture. Some critics have cited that 6 of his books incite racism. But one social media influencer had a unique response to the author's troubles. Watch this.
Kids need to learn about capitalist exploitation. So how about how the Grinch stole from the working class? And before kids go back to school, they have to read The Cat in the Hazmat. This one is just asking for fascism. How about one fish, two fish, canceled fish, blue fish? In this picture, Horton isn't even wearing a mask. How about Horton blindly follows the WHO? It's important to teach our children to be activists early on. So how about, oh, the systems you'll overthrow?
Now this goes on. Let's bring our panelists back in here to react. Bobby Eberle and Jack Kingston. Just to note, this TikTok got more than 300,000 views in just the first few hours, probably up from there. Bobby Eberle, what do you make of that response?
Oh my gosh, I love it. I mean, it's getting nuts, Sean. And by the way, happy birthday tomorrow. I mean, we got Mr. Potato Head going gender neutral. We got Dr. Seuss being canceled. Mallard Fillmore, a conservative, comic. Gannett Papers just dropped him. They dropped him because he was making fun of the women in the men in women's sports. You can't make fun of anything anymore. You can't do anything. You can't say anything. But even though he's poking fun, even though he's making jokes, when you really look at it, he's hitting the nail right on the head. I mean, this is a push so far to the left. They have gotten into everything where people are afraid. They're afraid to comment. They're afraid to do anything. These conservatives, like this conservative comic strip, What do you think they're going to do if they lose their circulation? They might not be so bold, and that's exactly what the left figures out. They know that if we can attack, they'll back off.
Just to catch everyone up, 6 Dr. Seuss books have been removed from publication because of, quote, racist and insensitive imagery, according to the business that preserves and protects the author's legacy. So there they are, the list of books being taken out there on your screen on Beyond Zebra, If I Ran the Zoo, etc. There's a lot in there. And a lot of folks are outraged. And it's interesting, if you look on Amazon, that people are buying these books up here. Jack Kingston, your response to that and also to the TikTok video.
I wonder if there's not a marketplace for discontinued products where you would sell not only Dr. Seuss, but Curious George books.
The black market.
Have the old Mr. Potato Head. You could have a Washington Redskin caps. You could even have controversial statues like maybe Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. And, of course, they're all the Confederate generals. You could maybe make a lot of money in nostalgia, but I think it is a very and it's good to look at this with humor because we have lost a lot of our humor, as Bobby said. But at the same time, it is First Amendment under attack. It is censorship. And unfortunately, or surprisingly, it comes from corporate America more than the government. And the government should be protecting the First Amendment and giving these corporations a spine. But it's all about the money. And if they feel like they're going to have one little cancellation snowflake wave a flag at them, then they surrender.
Dr. Seuss's stepdaughter, Legree Diamond, came out and stated that she doesn't think that his work needs to be censored or stored away from public view, but she suggested maybe adding a disclaimer on the book, something that you've seen HBO Max do, something you've seen Disney Plus do, and others. Bobby Eberle, is she just bending there? Does that even help? Your thoughts?
No, she's just bending there. And the thing is when talking about this on my show the other day, Dr. Seuss, they reacted to left-wing studies, these interest groups pressuring them about these books that they're going to push back on. You know who they didn't talk to? They didn't talk to parents. They didn't say, do you like these books? Do you still read these books to your children? Do you enjoy them? They didn't talk to the actual consumers of the books. But a left-wing group that gets a study together and says, oh, these are racist, then everyone reacts to it. It's a little outrageous, and people need to push back and say, you know what, I enjoy these books. They're not racist. We all know they came from a different period, different time. We know that. But let's read them. Let's read them for enjoyment and the education it gives to our kids.
I'm out of time with you, but just to note, my nephew's having a reading day with his class. I got a picture of it. And you know what they're reading today? Dr. Seuss. I wonder if some of the teachers are pushing back. Jack and Bobby, stay with us. More to come.
President Joe Biden called out Republican governors in Texas and Mississippi for their Neanderthal thinking in deciding to relax their mask mandates and their COVID-19 restrictions. Watch this.
These masks make a difference. We are on the cusp of being able to fundamentally change the nature of this disease because of the way in which we're able to get vaccines in people's arms. We've been able to move that all the way up to the end of May to have enough for every American, to get every adult American to get a shot. And the last thing we need is the Neanderthal thinking that in the meantime, everything's fine, take off your mask, forget it. It still matters.
Biden called it a big mistake while speaking in the Oval Office on Wednesday during a meeting with lawmakers who each wore a mask. He said, "I hope everyone has realized by now these masks make a difference."
We want to get our panelists' reaction. And Jack Kingston, we'll start with you here. Neanderthals, that's being, trending online with some calling it his Hillary Clinton deplorable moment. Again, just calling out sort of the other side with a negative description here. What do you make of President Biden's comments in regards to opening up these two states?
Well, it is right out of the Saul Alinsky playbook of ridicule your enemies, polarize them, make them look like an extremist. And so name calling is a lot easier than debating. And it's something that, as you pointed out, Hillary did it, but Hillary did it when she was a candidate. Joe Biden should now be on the team of every American as the president of the United States, the governor of Mississippi and the governor of Texas and the other 48 states. They're his team. You don't call your teammates Neanderthal. So you have to ask, what is he afraid of? And what he's afraid of is that Texas and Mississippi and other states are going to reopen, and they're going to show leadership because we're not getting it out of the White House, and he's going to look bad. COVID is the best thing that Joe Biden has had politically going for him, and he doesn't want to let go of it. And I understand that thinking, but I think that what he's really scared to death of is that, in fact, Governor Abbott and Governor Reeves are following science, and he is not.
Bobby Eberle, your thoughts on that and just using that term Neanderthal thinking about these state governors?
Yeah, I mean, what was the media and Joe Biden and the Democrats pushing? They were saying unity. We need to come together. We need to be one nation. How long did that actually last? I mean, his executive orders went after people. Now he's name calling. It's anything but unity. And the thing is that the other thing he said in that little clip is that, oh, these people think everything's fine. Governor Abbott specifically said that everything is not fine. But the trends are in the direction that we need to open up, and you still need to take personal responsibility. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you don't want to go out, don't go out. No one is forcing anyone to do anything, and it is exactly following the science, which is something Joe Biden's not doing as far as education, as far as schools, getting kids back into schools. But this, no, we want to keep everybody locked down because the last thing they want to see are states doing well, going back to work, getting things going, and being free from government mandates.
Well, private businesses can still require masks for customers coming in and their employees as well. So it's not like that's being shut down, which I think was pretty clear from the governor himself. If you were listening to the whole speech, as Bobby said,
Yep.
just you got to listen to the whole thing. Context is key.
Absolutely. And there's been stores in Texas that have already come out and said, you know what, we're going to keep going with our own regulations, our own mask mandates. Some are relaxing them. Some aren't. It's up to the businesses. This is just the statewide mandate that's being relaxed, being eliminated, and people can decide what to do.
Yeah, people are saying that's what freedom's all about there. Freedom here in America.
Exactly.
Okay, guys, thanks so much, Jack Kingston and Bobby Eberle, our panelists for this hour. We appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Happy birthday.
Hey,
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big stud.
Hey, apparently Winona Judd thinks I'm a stud.
I'm not singing to him.
Impressive, I tell you what. You're going viral.
I can't believe it. It just made my day. I'm glad you guys saw it. Hey, thank you both, by the way. I do appreciate it sincerely.
Okay, friends, thanks so much for watching. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you'll be notified. And here's a special video just for you so you can watch even more of the 13-minute news hour. And don't forget to check out GOPUSA.com for the best in conservative news and commentary. We'll see you next time.